It's car con carne. Let's eat in the car. It's car con carne. And now here's the star of our show, James Van Alstyne.
And it is Car Con Carne. We are in Oswego today. Car Con Carne sponsored by our dear friends, our good friends, the musicologists at Siren Records in McHenry, where Car Con Carne will be on Saturday the 12th. I'll be there right when they open for Record Store Day, one of the most celebrated days of the year. Record Store Day, celebrated with me at Siren Records McHenry. Get some of the stuff that you've been keeping an eye on since Record Store Day was announced, or get some of the new and used stuff they just typically have at Siren Records McHenry. We're going to talk a lot about Phonation tonight after I introduce my guest. But just at the front of the show, I do want to mention funding is underway for Phonation, a Chicago Podcast Compilation. It is 10 Chicago area podcasts compiled on vinyl. I know, podcasts on vinyl, crazy enough that it might actually work. That's what we're doing. We're looking for funding for Phonation. Go to Kickstarter, or really Car Con Carne socials, my personal socials, whatever. Find the link. Any amount helps. $1, $5. Help make this a reality. Podcast on vinyl. If we don't do it this time, someone else is going to do it, and they'll just make me crabby. Phonation. So my guest tonight, oh my goodness, he is Chris Baker from Ink 180. Ink 180 is a tattoo studio. Is it based in Oswego?
Yeah.
All right.
Beautiful Oswego, Illinois.
You can you hold up like? Yeah, no, you're clearly.
Yeah, I got a few. 101 tattoos.
Is it 101?
101 now. I just got my 101st.
Well, when do you start doing the head and the face?
I did. I have one on the back of my head, so I'm going back to LA soon to get the other side of the back of my head done.
Very, very nice.
To my wife's chagrin.
So there are a lot of reasons why Chris is here tonight. One, the most blatant commerce-related reason is because his podcast, Think 180, is part of the aforementioned Phonation. His podcast is phenomenal. We're going to talk about that. You can help put his podcast on vinyl. Before we talk about that, I want to acknowledge where we are. We're in Oswego. I don't frequently come out this way, not out of spite or anger. I'm not normally out this way. So I said to you, Chris, we're going to do this podcast. Recommend some places. You, in like 3 minutes time, you rattled off like seven in an email. This was the one that caught my eye. We're at RV's Home of the Hoagy.
Yeah, good spot.
What made you pick this place?
Just really good sandwiches. It's not a chain place. It's a little family-owned spot. So, you know, we love coming out this way and supporting small businesses, and especially, you know, through the pandemic, so many of them are no longer with us. So
right.
We love these guys, good people.
I looked at the menu before I came, and I brought, in fact, when you showed up here, I was already inside. I brought a little cooler because the sandwiches sounded so good. I got a cooler with some ice, and I'm bringing sandwiches home because I know
good call.
They look good.
Oh, they're amazing.
And I may not be back here soon, so I wanted to stock up. So I've got sandwiches in the trunk. Tonight, we'll start eating as we're talking here.
Sounds good.
What did you get? You got a
turkey hoagie.
Can you hold
somewhat
it up
healthy.
When you open it, can you hold it up to the camera?
You know it's good, right?
Oh yeah, when the oil, when it's like translucent.
Yeah,
that's legit. Oh, that smells amazing.
Dude, look at that.
Look at that.
I mean, come on.
Now I got something. You don't often see poutine on the menu anywhere. No. Outside of Canada, you don't.
Right. Exactly. Toronto, Quebec.
Oh, there's a fork. So I ordered their steak sweet poutine. I want to, you can't pick this up. It's heavy.
Yeah. It looks heavy. You can just tell.
Like, this is a
girthy.
mistake. Eating this all in one sitting is a mistake. I'm going to say that right now. There's no health benefit to doing that. I don't even know. I'm going to try to show it here. That's the sweet steak poutine. Oh, yeah, I kind of got it on camera there. This is like holding a dwarf star in my hand.
You might need a stint after that.
might need a stint. Are we close to where Dr. Daryl Wilson practices? Maybe he can help me out.
We'll make sure Daryl's on duty. At the
Did you get some napkins?
Nah, I'm good. I'm all right.
Are you sure?
I got jeans. I'm a biker.
You are a biker. And okay, so let's talk. You know, I walk out. You're waiting for me on a Harley.
Yeah.
You're a biker guy.
Yeah.
You are about the most in action. You blow away every stereotype.
Yeah, I'm trying to.
Of a Harley riding biker. You are
a
legitimate force for good in the universe, Chris. The stuff you do, and the people you help, it's exemplary. Your story is amazing. I really want to start talking about that, but chronologically, it makes sense to start talking about your studio before we get
Sure.
to your work. So tell me about Ink 180.
So Ink 180 is a tattoo shop here in Oswego, Illinois, southwest suburbs. Full service tattoos, piercings, tattoo removals. And really, we just put it together, built it out with my wife, Lisa, and our family to give people a clean, comfortable place to come and get tattoo work, piercings, if they choose to. Because, I've worked in tattooing for 27 years, and I've worked in all different sorts of shops.
I bet.
And some that I just honestly didn't feel comfortable even being in anymore, and just due to my life change and everything. But I wanted to make people feel comfortable.
Wait, you can't say that and keep going. Life change being...
I found faith in my life. About 11 years ago, I was suicidal and just a mess at the lowest part of my life, and went to a Christian counselor, and she looked like the church lady from Saturday Night Live, and she prayed for us, and something that I can't even really explain happened to me that day. I went to church the next morning, really kind of threw myself into that world and trying to soak up as much as I could, and trying to get myself right with God, like everybody says. And 6 months later, I was on top of a mountain in Haiti helping my new church build a school. And it's been a crazy ride. Like, my kids refer to me as old dad and new dad,
Which makes sense.
Yeah, I mean, it's heartbreaking and very rewarding at the same time, because I understand. Like, I know I wasn't a bad father or a bad husband. I just wasn't as present as I should be. I wasn't what they needed, and I've been working on that ever since.
And it's really interesting, the work you do, and it looks like we're talking about this. The work you do, I think there's a certain kind of gene or disposition that lets people like you do what you do. Because I don't think it's in everyone. I think you can get people to do good, but I mean, you're just effortlessly good. This is just how you think and breathe.
Yeah, that's how I was raised. I mean, I was raised in a single home. My mom really, put that into my structure of, if you can help somebody, that will never be able to pay you back. It's pretty easy to go to bed at night and sleep. And, we're fortunate. We have, a lot of things and abilities and gifts. And, like, if we can use those gifts to help somebody out that's in need or struggling, and just give them kind of a hand up in the world and lift them up a little bit, that's what we're here to do.
All right, take a bite of your hoagie. I'm making you talk. I have to say, this steak poutine, it is sweet as advertised. I'm not quite sure what the sweet sauce is. It's great, and there's some form of vegetable. There's a green vegetable in here, so I feel like I'm not doing something totally wrong with my life. But poutine is, traditionally, it's fries, it's gravy, and cheese curds. All are present and accounted for, but you have to go through like 3 pounds of steak to actually get to it.
That's a whole lot.
This is better than I expected. By far, this is better than expected. So the work we're talking about, and we'll bounce back to Ink 180, but Think 180, the podcast, talks about Chris's work helping victims of human trafficking, people who are trying to exit the gang life, people who have tattoos. He's trying to help them get those tattoos covered up, and you do get those tattoos covered up, which everyone who hears your story, or hears just that elevator pitch, it's a showstopper. It stops us in our tracks. I can't believe there's someone who does that, and thank goodness there is.
Yeah, what's funny about it is when I look at it and I'm like, well, this is just what I do. I'm just a tattoo artist, and I use that to help people. So, but it is a common reaction for people to be like kind of shocked by it. Like, wait a minute, like, you do what? Kind of thing. And I'm like, well, this is just what we do, and there's a need.
You do that, and oh my gosh, I can't believe that exists, and thank goodness someone had the foresight to help like that. Well,
I used to be one of those people that would sit and watch the news at night, and in between the Cubs score and the weather for the next day, they'd talk about how many kids got killed in Inglewood, Right. And I'd be like, man, somebody's got to do something about this. And then...
it's really easy to be detached.
Yeah, well, it's like, well, I'm somebody. I can do something. I don't know. I can't do everything, but I can do something. So that's what we do.
And so when did you realize that human trafficking was such a prevalent thing, and these tattoos? I mean, because basically these victims are branded. I mean, it's like barcodes, right?
Barcodes, pimps' names, gang symbols, because gangs are trafficking people now. I didn't know a thing about it, I went and I was invited to speak to the Homeland Security gang unit back in 2011, because a guy that I go to church with is an agent. He's a narcotics agent with them. He's like, man, you got to come talk to my gang team. So I said, set it up, and I drove up for the meeting, and the commander for the trafficking unit was in there too, just sitting hearing about what we were doing. And then he spent 2.5 hours explaining sex trafficking to me and what it looks like in the United States. And I was blown away.
Because here we are in Oswego.
Yeah.
And you have that feeling like that's so far away.
Yeah, that couldn't happen here.
Right, no.
That's one of those over there problems, Southeast Asia, Eastern Europe. And they showed me, no, in fact, this is happening here in places like Oswego and all over the country.
That's eye-opening.
Yeah, big time. Big time. And I've just, I've continued to learn more every day, really. Every time I work with a survivor, I learn something I didn't know the day before. So
it's really interesting. As we're having this conversation, I just got an advanced copy of a brand new book. Got to look it up. Taking Down Backpage by Maggie Krell, who was one of the attorneys who brought down Backpage.
Yeah.
And I just finished reading that book as I was preparing for this conversation.
Oh,
and
man.
you realize what a scourge that was.
Horrible.
And just because Backpage is gone doesn't mean the problem's gone away.
Yeah, it's it's one of the things that people bring up a lot is they're like, well, Backpage is gone, so trafficking took a hit, right? No, trafficking didn't take a hit because
Bad people just find other ways to be bad.
Oh, it's not hard to put a new website together.
Right.
People do it every single minute, Hell, there's apps that people use now to buy sex, so it's everywhere. It's destroying our communities. It's destroying families. I mean, we're seeing people where they're being trafficked because their mom was addicted to drugs and she would sell them to men to get money to buy drugs. And I'm like, what in the hell is wrong with this world?
Yeah, that makes my flesh crawl.
Yeah, it's disgusting.
And to be clear, we're not talking about sex work per se. We're talking about legitimate criminal selling of humans.
Yes. Yeah. I mean, we're talking like 13, 14, 15-year-old kids.
It's so crazy, Chris. This is all coming to a head for me. I've been going on these super long walks since the pandemic started. Clear my head, get some exercise, work off sweet steak poutine. And I was walking this past weekend. I was by Devon and Western on the north side of Chicago.
Sure.
Very much an Indian neighborhood, Indian Pakistani neighborhood. I saw a dude about your size, maybe 200-ish pounds.
Yeah.
And he looked kind of sketchy.
Yeah.
Kind of scary. And he was walking, holding like a 14-year-old girl by her bicep. And she looked no older than 13 or 14. And she was dressed very provocatively. I'm like, there's something messed up with that.
Yeah.
So I waited till I walked past them. I turned around. I started to grab my phone. I'm like, I don't know what I'm going to do. Take a picture, call the police. I don't know.
Yeah.
The second I turned around, she hit him with a purse and ran away.
Wow.
I'm like, I don't know what this is, but what I was told by a police friend a long time ago, if something doesn't look or feel right, it's not right.
Yeah, it's absolutely true.
The human brain tries to compensate for what you experience and try to explain not good things.
Yeah.
Because we don't want to accept it. But I was convinced, and again, I had you in my mind, like hearing your stories, listening to your podcast, reading the book about Backpage. I'm like, I wonder if that was trafficking. I called the Chicago police on Saturday. I waited. I tried to keep an eye on this one dude.
Yeah.
He eventually went out of sight. I got a little nervous. I'm like, I'm not equipped to confront this.
What door did he duck into to get something?
And he ducked into 2 different stores on Devon Avenue. And I was waiting. I wanted the police to come by so I could say, that's the guy. But I don't even know if they would have anything to charge him or confront him with. But it looked like something trafficking, in my lack of knowledge. It looked like a scenario.
Definitely could be. I mean, the saddest thing about this whole situation to me is, everybody's talking about defund the police. One of the problems is these police aren't trained. I just partnered with the FBI and Reclaim 13, which is a safe house we work with here in the Chicagoland area, to train the Aurora PD, all of their officers, to help them learn about sex trafficking because they've never been trained on it.
There's only so much they can learn before they're on the street.
Right.
That's unbelievable. How do people find you? How do these victims find you? How do they...
So for the sex trafficking victims in particular, so we're a national provider for the FBI, Department of Homeland Security, and the U.S. Attorney's Office. In addition to hundreds of safe houses around the country and other organizations, kind of like Inc. 180, that do different things.
So
to help
like an
survivors.
intermediary, a government-related
Absolutely.
intermediary will contact you saying, hey, we have this girl,
Yep.
can you help?
Yeah. And they'll-
So it's not like a direct...
No, they don't ever call me on their own to set up an appointment. It's always through their victim services coordinator or social worker or something like that. And then I have that person that they're working with to get counseling and things like that. They actually have to bring them into the shop.
You
and
talked about
sit
that
with
in
us.
your podcast, yeah.
Yeah, because two reasons, really. Most of them have varying levels of PTSD, just based on
I
the
can't
trauma
imagine.
they've been through.
Hey, that's PTSD we can't even...
Oh, yeah. I have PTSD, but it's like theirs is PTSD on steroids.
That is truly a
You know.
horror show, a horror movie.
And I do that because if they trigger while I'm covering or removing their tattoos, I want a professional there that they built some rapport with, that can sit with them and listen to them and help them walk through that trigger. And also it protects me as a man who doesn't look like the nicest guy on earth. I don't want to
Although
ever put myself
you
in
are.
a position. Well, I am now. I don't want to put myself in a position where they could ever say, oh, he said this or suggested this. So
Yeah, and in a situation like that, it's not even someone would be out to get you. It's
No.
just, these girls have been through...
Well, that's the thing. They've been through hell, you know? And, I mean, the stories I've heard, Hollywood could not write the stories I hear.
I wouldn't want to watch those stories.
Yeah. And, I mean, it sends me to go see my counselor the next day.
That was one of my questions.
Yeah. Oh, you have to, because if I don't go see my counselor, I will absorb this stuff.
Yeah.
You know? And I take on like a... it's not survivor's guilt, but it's like the guilt of the men that perpetrated that against them when I had nothing to do with it. But
And by that, you're not just talking about the traffickers. You're talking about the Johns.
the Johns, the pimps, the family members that sold them, like
or the
whatever,
web
you know?
pages, like a back page
Yeah.
that
Yeah.
basically don't ask, don't tell
Yeah.
with what was going on
Yeah.
there.
Oh no, it's a dating site. Yeah, we know what it is.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So, from a ratio perspective, are you spending more of your time with trafficking victims, or are you spending more time with gang members?
It's probably so. You know, with the nonprofit side, we help former gang members, sex trafficking survivors, domestic violence survivors, and self-harm survivors.
That's
and
interesting.
it's a good mix. You know, trafficking is probably becoming the biggest segment of that population, just because we've been doing it for almost 10 years now, and the word's gotten out. And we have
Right.
so many partnerships with people. So yeah, trafficking's huge, and we need to stop it.
So what do we do? I mean, you talk to the FBI. You talk to...
Yeah.
You've got friends in the government. What's their solution?
Well, their solution is just to keep doing what they're doing, which isn't a solution at all. My thing is, you know, this makes me sound older even than I am, but somewhere along the timeline of my life, we've done a couple things. We stopped teaching our boys to be real men and treat women with value as opposed to just some conquest. And we also stopped raising our girls to appreciate themselves for their intellect and their abilities, not just how many likes they get on Instagram.
Social media makes everything weird.
It's horrible. It's absolutely horrible. So
It's the blessing and the curse. We're
Yeah.
We're going to be broadcasting
Right.
this
It's kinda
on
ironic,
Facebook
right?
and on YouTube, and I'll be promoting it on
Yeah.
Facebook, Twitter, and
yeah,
Instagram.
and I use them all the time too.
Yeah.
But you know, it's teaching kids and parents how to use that stuff safely, how to have conversations about it. Because so many parents will just give their kid an iPhone at whatever age they deem appropriate.
Because it's a
And
babysitter.
Then it's out of sight, out of mind. They don't know who their kids are talking to, or more importantly, who's talking to their kids.
I'm keeping you from eating. This is a
Oh,
food
you're
podcast.
good.
So we're going to take another quick bite. I'm never going to finish this. This is...
Yeah, I'm taking the rest of this home on the bike.
How are you going to do that? Well, you have like a backpack or something, right? Mm-hmm. It's rolled up in the Harley.
So good.
This is a wonderful place.
Right?
It's actually to my advantage that I don't live near here.
I'll bring it out to you.
Will you come my way?
Yeah, I'm up in the city all the time.
Right now, we'll do lunch in the city.
All right.
So you mentioned in one of your shows, which again, Think 180. The studio's Inc. 180. The podcast is Think 180. You can listen to it on the web, on SoundCloud, and then it's on all the platforms.
iTunes and all
Yeah.
that usual.
You mentioned, and I didn't think about it until you said it, but it made perfect sense. You're armed at the studio.
Yeah.
Because there's a concern of reprisal or
Yeah. I've had 11 death threats since 2011.
one death threat's scary enough.
Yeah. It is. The first one really shook me up. And I was talking to my best friend, is my pastor, and I was like, I called him because who else am I going to call? And he's like, well, what'd you do when they said what they said? I was like, I didn't say anything. I waited and I hung up the phone. He tells me, he's like, you should pray for him. I'm like, that dude just threatened me and, in very descriptive terms of what he was going to do to me. And he's like, no, you should. And I thought about it for a while, and I was like, he's right. And he's like, when it happens next time, and I'm like, whoa, why are you wishing that evil on me, man? Like, take that. Yeah, like, why don't you pray it doesn't happen anymore? And I was like, but he's right. It's probably going to happen again. And it did a few months later, and I let the guy say what he wanted to say, and I was like, hey, can I pray for you real quick? And he cussed me out a little bit more. And I waited till he was done. I was like, can I pray for you real quick? I just want to pray for safety and all that stuff. And he didn't say anything. So I prayed for him for like 3 or 4 minutes, and he waited till I said amen, and then he hung up the phone. And I'm still here. Like, I know I'm not bulletproof. I'm not. It's not some false bravado thing at all. But it's...
But you definitely took back the power.
Well, that's it. That's exactly what it's about, It's like, it disarms people. Like, wait, I just threatened to kill you, and you're going to pray for me that I'm safe and healthy, and, So it trips people out, but that's just my new life, And
it's so interesting because when you said it in your podcast, it made sense to me.
Yeah.
That there would be an element of danger. It's not just the helping, but the people you're helping are coming from a very scary place.
Oh, yeah. And I go into the jails and prisons and stuff, too. Like, tomorrow morning, I'll be in the Kane County Jail removing gang tattoos in the middle of the pod. So
explain for those who don't understand what tattoo removal is. I mean,
yeah.
Is that a painful thing, or is it all cover-ups?
No, it's not all cover-ups. We do full removals as well. Most people know about laser tattoo removal. Mm-hmm. It's not that. We use a product called Tattoo Vanish. So essentially what we do is we take a tattoo setup with a needle, we dip it in lidocaine, and we go over the tattoo they want to get rid of, and it opens up the top few layers of skin. And then we take a cotton swab and apply a clear gel called ink eraser. And all that is I wish I would have invented it, and but I didn't. It's a pharmaceutical grade saline solution and citric acid.
So, with these gang members who are trying to get out of the lifestyle, I mean, the ones who are not in prison, the ones who you're helping now, having those marks works against them.
Oh, yeah.
They cannot advance in society. They cannot move beyond gang member status as long as they have those tattoos.
And it's a walking death sentence.
That's the other. So besides not being able to get a job, yes, it's a walking death sentence.
I mean, when these guys and women are in gangs, they put tattoos on their face, their knuckles, wherever. They want it to be known. When they're in that life, that's their life, and they're proud of it, and they want it to be seen and visible. And man, the minute they leave that life and make that hard decision to leave that life, first thing they want to do is get rid of it.
Yeah, because it's a literal target.
Yeah. I mean, I've had people tell me, yeah, man, I've been shot 4 times, and twice while I was active, and twice since I left because I got the tattoo on my arm or my hands or my face, whatever. It's crazy.
We were talking as we were waiting. Again, we're at RV's home of the Hoagy, which is magnificent.
It really is.
I feel very happy that I got to meet you tonight and I got to eat here tonight. We were talking right before I lost my train of thought because I started to romanticize the Hoagy. What were we talking about beforehand? I don't even know. I know what it was. The tattoo shop.
Uh-huh.
I was asking, from a business perspective, are you doing more for the nonprofit or doing more for the studio? You mentioned something that made sense to me, which I thought was really cool. Mm-hmm. You're getting a lot of business from people who, A, love the work that you do, but B, want to support the work that you do.
Yeah, absolutely. Because they know, so the shop as a whole, it's 70% nonprofit work and 30% paid business, right? But the people who come in and pay for their tattoos help fund all that free work.
Yeah.
We've helped over 7,600 people in the last 10 years free of charge. And my accountant thinks I'm crazy because I've given away $1.26 million in free services.
I love that story.
Yeah.
I mean, I find what you do so inspirational.
Yeah. Thank you.
And it's so cool. Your accountant is nuts.
Well, it's crazy because a lot of tattoo artists, most tattoo artists in the community hate my guts because I do it for free. And they're like, well, you're taking money off of our table. I'm like, guys, the people that I'm helping don't have money to eat. Like, there's times I'm ordering, stuff on DoorDash to feed them so they don't pass out while I'm doing the procedure.
Also, the other shops aren't getting death threats.
No, they're not. They're not, and it is what it is. It's sad. I wish I had more artists in the community that were kind of like-minded or supportive of it, but it is what it is. I don't lose sleep. I got enough friends in the world.
What made you decide to start podcasting? Was it just to further the message?
Yeah, it was to educate. And I speak in churches all the time. We speak in the schools, especially to talk to kids about the sex trafficking stuff and talk to families about sex trafficking.
Which, we're both parents.
Yeah.
The fact that kids have to be aware of that stuff.
Yeah, it sucks.
It's horrible.
I was talking to somebody about this the other day. When I was a kid, the big scary thing was the Tylenol scare.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
And now it's like, give me the Tylenol scare back and trade it for this. But people don't know that this is going on. And, if you don't know, you're not protecting yourself or your kids or, others from it. So it's like, let's get this word out there however we can. And it's been really cool. We've gotten a lot of really great feedback from people. And they're like, man, I had no idea this was going on. And, we bring people in, too, that are, part of this fight, too, and that we work with and that we respect. And it's just absolutely insane to me.
It's insane.
Yeah.
So you started the podcast. I'm impressed with how naturally you do it. I mean, you have a very
thank you
accomplished sounding delivery, and you run a tight show.
Thank you. Well, it's Kyle. My friend Kyle Craning really runs the show and makes it work. But he actually came to me before we started. And he's like, man, have you ever thought about doing a podcast? I'm like, yeah, but I don't know how to do that stuff. Like, I'm not very electronically gifted, He's like, oh, I've got all the equipment and stuff. I can come and help you do it. And he was a guy that believed in what we did, and we became great friends. And he's like, let's do this, man. I'll help you do it. And he's been fantastic with it.
And how many years have you been doing the podcast?
I think about 3 years now.
That's amazing.
Yeah. So we're getting ready to ramp things back up again post-COVID. Kyle's wife had a baby, so I was letting them have that time, and we're getting ready to get things going again.
So with all the not-for-profit work you've done, specifically with the gang members and the human trafficking victims, have you ever heard from some of the people you've helped down the road?
Yeah, I love it. That's one of the biggest. I was
wondering
gifts.
If that was just kind of like you don't see them again.
No, that's one of the biggest gifts of doing this work is they do stay in contact and give us updates. And one really good example, I had a kid from Aurora right up the street, former gang member, went to prison, made the declaration to his gang that he was done, and took his beating for that. And
right, because you get jumped out.
Oh yeah, big time. And his old gang actually shot him and attacked him and ambushed him, shot him 8 times with an AK-47. And the last bullet, or one of the bullets, he doesn't know if it's the last one or not, it doesn't matter, 8 bullets. One hit him right under the eye and it should have killed him, right? AK-47 is not a squirt gun.
No.
And instead it went and the bullet tracked under his skin around the back and out.
Oh my gosh.
And I was like, brother, if you didn't believe in God before then, I bet you do now. He said, yeah. But anyway, he moved out of state with his now wife and started a construction company where he employs other former gang members and other former inmates, and just to help give people a second chance. And man, that's what I love. Like, people look at what we do and they're like, man, that's so great. And I'm like, I love to see what they go do.
Right.
It's all about paying it forward.
It's really a mirror of what you did with yourself. I mean, you found, you were in a gang or a victim of human trafficking, but you were in a bad spot, and you found a way to reapply who you are, what your skills are, and do good in the world.
Absolutely. And anybody can do that.
Right.
Anybody. So we love to hear those stories and see what they're doing, or people will send me Christmas cards and they're like, yeah, we just had our first kid, or I got a job, I'm promoted, or whatever it is. It's just like, that's the best.
Because I've got to think you're probably one of the first people they see on that chain on the other side.
Yeah, definitely.
And as one of those first people, you probably leave a pretty significant emotional impression on them.
I hope so. I mean, I had a guy come in this morning. He just got out of prison yesterday. And we started his removals. It's like, let's get rid of that. And he's crying. You know, you got guys. I'm a big guy, okay? But you got guys bigger than me, covered in tattoos. They make me look like I don't have any tattoos. And they're standing there looking in the mirror crying because they don't have to be defined by who they used to be anymore.
Amazing.
Yeah, I mean, that's what new life is all about, you know?
That's amazing. All right, so Ink 180, people should plan ahead if they want to get tattoos at Ink 180.
Yeah, give me a shout. Phone number is 630-554-1404. You can email me, chris@ink180.com, or our website's ink180.com as well.
And then Think 180, the podcast, is available, as we said, on all podcast platforms. And it's just, I can't stop listening to it. It's so engrossing. The messages are positive. The stories are shocking. And
yeah,
it's nice to know when things are really dark in the world. And they've always been dark, but
yeah,
in this particular instance, it's nice to know that there's someone out there trying to make it better. You're kind of like Batman.
Well, that'd be pretty awesome, right?
That would be pretty awesome.
If you got to be somebody.
All right, so Ink 180, ink180.com is the website. Think 180 is the podcast. You are Chris. You are a wonderful human being.
Thank you.
Let's wrap up your food. Let's get you back on your bike.
Yeah, let's roll.